We're just going to start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Renee Live. I'm really excited for this evening's guest. It's a two-part series for tonight and next Thursday night. I welcome Dr. Robert Shiepe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so delighted to have you here. We've been talking a lot on the phone, and I mean, you're just so information. First of all, you're a pharmacist. And
Yes.
you also invented back in 1989, I think you said you had talked about online pharmacy.
86. In
86, I'm sorry.
I invented the first mail order pharmacy in the United States.
Yeah, see, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
I did that for 25 years. I specialized. It was actually even a specialty pharmacy, which wasn't invented either. Something called a specialty pharmacy that specializes like in heart disease, diabetes, cholesterol. I specialize with infectious disease, HIV care, cancer. So nobody had a clue of what I created. And now it's probably the biggest business in America. It does 900 million a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, and it's worldwide now.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. Even when I get my medicine, I have to have it mailed to me. And I tell my wife, like, oh, look at this. They'll mail you your medicine.
Amazing, right? I know. And, I mean, how far things have come throughout the years, right? I mean, who even would have thought that we would have been connecting this way, right? I mean,
right.
I remember when my mother got her first cell phone, I was in college, and she picked me up from the bus station, and she said, look at my new cell phone. It was this big box thing with, the hand thing in it, and all I could do was laugh. And she's like, don't laugh, it works. I'm like, what do you do? And she's like,
Right.
you just dial and hope you have reception. I'm like, really? But it was this big clunky thing that she had to carry on her shoulder, and
yeah, I had one of those.
Did you?
Yeah, I had one of those. It is what it is. That's what you start with, and here we are today with smaller phones, and I'm sure they're going to get smaller and smaller. I'm quite sure.
Probably, or basically with walking computers, pocket-sized computers.
I wouldn't be surprised 15 years from now, these phones will help us be telepathic. I would not be surprised.
It doesn't surprise me.
No, 15 more years. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're very close to it. Very close.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, they hear everything we say now anyway. And then, you could be talking on the phone or even just at home and, say, oh yeah, I think I want a new pair of sunglasses. And before you know it, anywhere on the internet, they're showing you ads for, sunglasses.
No, Renee, all you have to do now is think you want some sunglasses, and there'll be a pop-up ad. This has happened over and over.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? How are they doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good at it.
In some ways, it's kind of scary, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah.
Very invasive.
Very. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my TV, it's turned off, but there's a good chance, and I don't even use it for voice control, but there's a good chance it's going to turn on and start to text everything we're saying. I don't even know how to do that if I wanted to. So if it does, I'll give you a holler. But
okay.
But yeah, the technology is almost out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, not comfortable with it.
No, I'm not either. I'm not. It's too invasive, know? And I don't like that.
I'm trying to keep it simple. I still have a flip phone, but I'm still hanging in there, but barely. I mean, eventually I'm going to have to get a smartphone. I get it. But it's kind of ironic, the research I'm doing, and I have a flip phone. It's the dichotomy that's being done, that's being said. But yeah, so I did that. I invented that in 86, did that for 25 years. And then I got a new medical patent last year. I'm very excited about. I think it's going to be really big.
Okay.
It's a pill reminder built into a cap, a bottle cap. So when you unscrew the bottle cap, it actually becomes a pill reminder. I think it's incredibly ingenious. I don't even know how I came up with it.
That's great.
But I showed it to 2 other pharmacists. I showed it to 2 patent attorneys, and they were speechless. They were like, where did this come from?
I think you have another connection and something we're going to talk about tonight anyway, but that's amazing. And that's good for people who forget.
Exactly.
You know,
That's actually the name of it. But it's all about helping people who forget. It's a reminder. It's a reminder. And so I actually just need to get in front of a CEO who makes plastic caps for vitamin bottles or prescription bottles. And I already have the patent, so I'm safe.
good.
But it's actually going to be very beneficial because
Yeah.
people forget. They forget to take their medicine. Very common in pharmacy. People forget. You wouldn't think it, but it's like forgetting your cell phone or your car keys. It's easy to forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's see.
So I have like so many people that are excited that you're on tonight because
Wow.
we're going to be talking about UAPs or UFOs. So we all know what UFOs are, unidentified flying objects, but you call them UAPs. So could you explain to everybody what a UAP is for those who don't know?
A couple of years ago, somebody decided to change the word to UFOs, unidentified flying objects, to UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, things that fly in the air. I really think that was unnecessary. I mean, just stick with UFO. UFO's UFO. But I do have a new term because of my discovery. I'm recording UAPs or UFOs. I'm recording these very small drones. They're about 10 inches. They're uncatchable. And I call them dragons because I thought they were dragonflies at first. 6 years ago, when I recorded them, I said they have to be dragonflies. They can't be anything else. And since then, I've recorded tens of thousands of videos. I've kept 4,000 of the best. And there's a very big story going on right here at Marina Del Rey, Los Angeles. Bigger than Hollywood could ever write. It's that big. I know they wrote a movie, Battle for LA.
Mm-hmm.
This is even better than that. And this is real. This is even real. So I can tell you, I've lived here in Marina Del Rey for 31 years. 6 years ago, something unusual happened. The Coast Guard and the Army flew into Marina Del Rey where there are 5,000 boats. They hovered 300 feet for 4 hours, and they did that every day for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So finally, at the end of 2 weeks, I said, hey, why are you here? This is very unusual. I picked up my camcorder. I started to record them. I zoomed in, and you can see these small objects flying around the windshield. And that's how it all got started. Of course, I said, no, these got to be dragonflies. But after hundreds and then thousands of videos, they are chasing these small drones. The government is chasing these small drones, these small dragons. Every agency in the government is here looking for it. You name an agency, they're here. What does that mean? The sheriff, the police, the Coast Guard, the Army, Ospreys, Apaches, Blackhawks. Oh my gosh. I can't even keep private helicopters. As it turns out, everything that flies over Marina Del Rey, these dragons, these UAPs will tag. A tag is when they fly up to the windshield or fly by the helicopter. So everything gets tagged. I'm going to tell you 1,000 things, and they're all going to be impossible because it's all brand new. but it's very real and it's been going on 6 years. I have more than enough evidence. I could tell you briefly, I've been on Discovery Channel, MUFON on the East Coast, the West Coast are interviewing this. And as of last month, the Pentagon is using my data with the hearings, with the AARP UFO hearings. The Pentagon is giving Congress my information like they go 2,000 miles an hour. They travel with the X-band frequency. The X-band is the radar frequency on your car radar.
Right.
As an experiment, I took my car radar, I attached it to my camera, and it does go off. The radar does go off 8% of the time. And when it goes off, you can hear it on the camera because I'm recording, and it says X-band. And the Pentagon gave that information to Congress.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, even that they guessed 2,000 miles an hour, I found that to be a coincidence because I'm saying, well, I'm telling everyone they're going 2,000. How did they get that?
Mm-hmm.
But 2,000 plus the X-band, I'm sorry, somebody's, and I'm not copying them.
Yeah.
It's a very big deal. This is just not a theory. It's not once in a while. It's every day. In fact,
and that's what you're saying. I mean, your videos are almost every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yes, just yesterday, I was actually talking to my patent attorney. I said, hey, can the Pentagon use my information? And she goes, yeah, under the fair use, the 107, if they're using it for a fair practice, for educational purposes, they can use it. And while I'm talking to her, an Apache flies in front of my camera. I press record, and he got tagged 4 times. And I have the video. I'm going to post it in a week or so. That's how common this is. It's every day.
And you say that they appear to launch off of like tops of the buildings, but yet nobody's seen them.
Nobody, but the police can see them. They have very expensive thermo sensor cameras, flare cameras, heat cameras. They can see these things land and they can see them take off. So sometimes they land on the roof, they'll land on the wetlands. We have like 500 acres of wetlands, if you can believe it. It's to protect the butterflies, and I hope they never build on it. But the police, the Army can see them land, they can see them take off, and they land on the water and take off from the water. We have something called, if you go on Google Map, we have something called the jetty rocks. The rocks break the waves so they don't come into the marina and flood the boats. These things sit right at the rocks. The police and the Army are always circling the jetty rocks. They can see it. They have very expensive cameras. I don't have one yet. I don't have a thermal camera. Mm-hmm. I hoped somebody will loan me one or rent me one. I'll pay to rent it, but they're very expensive. They're 20, 30, 50,000 or more. Mm-hmm. So, and you can't rent them. Nobody will let you rent them. But it's just a matter of time. But it's a very big deal. So everything gets tagged. I can't stress it enough. No matter what. There have been, and I have over 4,000 videos now. Over 4,000. And so people like, well, how do you know, for instance, they're 10 inches? Well, I know they're 10 inches because it flew up to a telephone pole, and I know how wide the telephone pole is. So that's number one. Also, people like, how far away do you know the chopper is? Okay, so there's free radar on the internet. It's called Plane Finder.
Right.
Plane Finder. And it's free. You should punch it in. Look it up, planefinder.net. And I do a screenshot of where the helicopter is. And then you go on Google Map, and it tells you how far it is from you. It's very accurate. So that's how I know how far it is, how fast the helicopter is going. We know the UAP Dragons are 10 inches. We know when to turn on the camera. You can wait to the last 10 seconds. Helicopters always get tagged over the same area. Right. It's very predictable. It's sometimes it's 90%, 95% predictable. In the summertime, it goes up to 100% predictability. It's
Wow.
phenomenal. There's so much. I've got it down literally to a science, to an exact science. And I'm just offering this for others, and anyone could do this. These things, by the way, they're not just Marina Del Rey. These UAP dragons are all over the world. They're all over. And I have viewers now that are sending me videos from South America, from Europe, from a lot from the UK, a lot from Australia, and they're all over YouTube. If you want to find them, look at air shows, the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds. Look at air shows. You will see them fly. Look for a tiny, tiny dark bug, a dot. That will be the dragon. At the speed of a bullet, 2,000 miles an hour.
And if my laptop wasn't going to die, I had a bunch of videos of yours, like sections of them that I was gonna show. During the show, to show people how you slow down the speed of the film and everything, and then you can see them. You can actually see, like, even though the helicopter is barely moving, this thing is still whizzing by, but you see it.
Even in slow motion, yes. When I slow it down to 12%, I still miss them. They're so fast.
Right.
Sometimes I watch my videos in slow motion and I say to myself, where's the dragon? What, Robert, why did you record this? I don't even see a dragon. And then I watch it 3 more times. Oh, there it is. What?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But it's doing not just military aircraft or police aircraft. It's doing it with all aircraft, right? I mean, like the one in Australia that I had, saved up to show was like, it was literally helping a plane land.
That's right.
There were a bunch of them.
That's right. And that was unusual. That one got tagged by 3 dragons, and they were flying behind the wing. You could see they flew behind the aircraft. There's something really big going on. It's really big. Everyone knows but the people. Everyone knows. All of the Pentagon knows. All the agencies know. You can call them. You can call any. I mean, if you could call the Army, the Coast Guard, the LAPD, the sheriff. Just frankly say, look, what are you doing? What are you chasing? Try to get it on record. Try to get them to talk to you. Just get it on record. This is every day. Nothing. It's not going away. It's not slowing down. And then amazingly, like I said, I'm going to give you a lot of information because I think your viewers can keep up with it. Anything over 150 feet will get tagged. So many times I'll see somebody at the beach will let go of a helium balloon. I'll record the balloon and I'll do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When the balloon gets to 150 feet, it will get tagged by a dragon, a UAP dragon.
Interesting.
Very predictable. I've had that happen with kites. People fly kites at the beach. With parasails, people get pulled on a boat on a parasail. They get tagged all the time. There it is. My TV is going on. There it is. It says parasail. People get tagged all the time. Look at that. Who?
I see it. I see the reflection in your glasses. Yeah.
Oh my God. Who's doing that? My TV was just, the parasails are getting tagged. What the heck? I don't know what to say. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to, literally, I'm going to leave my camera on and point it at the TV. And then next time I'll have a video evidence. I didn't think it would happen. I thought it would happen. I didn't think it would actually, the irony is people are like, Robert, are you scared? It's, Renee, this is not my drone. These are not my UAPs. They're not my dragons.
Right.
So why would the government be interested? It's not mine.
Well, because you have the information. You have the research.
Well, okay, but now thousands of people know and thousands of people are recording them. And pretty much at this point, the world knows about it. Like I said, it was on Discovery Channel. I give lectures at the Air Force Base on UAPs. People say, what do you mean? About what? on these dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that happen? I'm the only civilian that's ever been able to do that. I don't know. The spirit world made it happen.
Yeah.
Made
I
it
think
happen.
so. And and they want the information. It's not like
Well,
everybody's being watched anyway. I mean, we're all being watched.
yeah, we are. And I think I'm producing very useful information for the government. And like I said, the Pentagon has given it to Congress. So you can have all my videos. I mean, if the Pentagon's watching, you can have all my videos. You don't have to be there's nothing secret here. There is
Right.
no secret. I don't know what the secret is. There's no secret. I have 4,000 videos. I'll send them over to you in a flash drive. No problem.
Yeah. And they're all on your YouTube channel, which is Custodian Files, which is
Thank
right
you.
behind you on the sign.
Yes, thank you.
Custodian File. And you have hundreds, and the videos are just amazing.
They
I mean,
really,
in recent days, and where you've gotten them.
I just posted a new one yesterday. I post videos I make. I post videos I find on YouTube. I post videos people send me. They really are all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the only thing we don't know yet is how many they are, because these things are showing up everywhere.
Well, they're like little pods, and they're 10 inches. So are they manned?
I think.
Or are they just like our drones, similar to our drones?
I think they're similar to our drones, just better technology. Like I said, I have a video of one flying at the electric pole. I think it was doing a charge and go. It was recharging via induction. They run on electricity. They do. So just like our Earth drones run on electricity, they're just better at it.
Right.
They're faster. Yeah.
What do you think it is about the Marina del Rey
Right.
that these drones are there? I mean, you were saying, how deep was it? It wasn't very deep.
No, it's not very deep at all. And that's a very good question, because I just said they're all over the world. So, but why Marina del Rey? So when you look on Plane Finder, and you really should, it's a handy free tool. There's only one place on planet Earth where there are helicopters, clusters of helicopters looking, and that's Marina del Rey. There's only one place. So we don't know, but the thing is, about 33 miles from me off the coast of Malibu, if you look on Google Map, there appears to be a very large warehouse about 1 or 2 miles wide with a flat roof, and somebody covered it with sand. So we think maybe that's an underwater base. We don't know for sure. We do know the West Coast is a hot zone, with all our Navy ships being tagged a lot. You hear they're being swarmed. The Omaha. 2 years ago, we actually had a Navy ship show up, the USS Gabriella Gifford, and it was parked right here in front of me all day where the jetty rocks are. And they did a complete thorough research. The USS Gabriel. So if you do all your UFO research, you will not yet hear about the Gabriella, but you will in the future.
Interesting.
And I have video of all that. I have video of them being here. I have video of them getting tagged by these UAP drones. They are swarming our Navy all the time, especially on the West Coast. It's really a standard. It's happening every hour now. There's nobody saying anything, and nobody can.
So they're tagging the Navy or scanning the Navy ships.
Scanning, yeah.
So they're like, they're not above 150 feet.
No, they're not. So yeah, it is.
There has to be something, in the water.
They do recon once in a while, like at the air shows. Last year, the Blue Angels were here in Orange County, and I found a lot of video of them flying 10 feet over people's heads. That was a little concerning because they were very close to other people. And I have a concern about radiation.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, if you turn on the camera and something's in the air and it's going up, when it gets to 150 feet, you will see the dragon fly by. I have a lot of those videos, a lot. Yeah, it's really at this point, and I get it. A lot of your viewers are going to go, no, 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 I'm very skeptical. I'll figure it out myself, and that's fine. Take your time, review all my videos. But within a few weeks, I think a lot of you will like, oh my God, this is really happening, and it's all over the world. And that's okay too if you're scared. I was scared for 100 days.
Right.
I was like, oh no, I'm very concerned about this. But after 100 days, it's like they're not doing anything. They're just looking, they're reconning, they're scanning.
Right.
We want to know, what we're doing, who we are, what we're flying. What's our aircraft made out of? What do we use for fuel? Are we using electricity? What kind of electricity? Low voltage, high voltage, etc. And many of you, all you have to do is,
I think they already know. I think they're kind of like, boy, they're behind the times.
That's the interesting part.
Majorly.
Why do they keep reconning the same aircraft over the same area, over the Jetty Rocks? When the same sheriff or the same police helicopter flies by, why do they keep reconning it? I think that they just don't take chances. They don't make assumptions.
Right.
They just don't. They do not make assumptions. So I think that's how to look at this moving forward.
Well, it would be like a video game, right?
Well,
Think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're a character in the video game, and catch me if you can, I'm the gingerbread man, and almost like a teasing. Did they see me? Did they not see me? Did they see me? It's like a little cat and mouse type game.
It really is a cat and mouse.
And and if you think about it, it almost makes our government, and I'm sure other governments, want to even fine tune and advance more. So that even could be a part of it, is that they're instigating them to improve what they already have.
That's a good way to look at it, because you can assume that the Pentagon is talking to the industrial complex, and they're telling them, you better figure out new technology to track, record, and maybe shoot these things down. You better invent it. No matter what it costs, just build it.
See, I can't even say like shoot them down. I think that, they're not doing anything. They're not harming anybody. They're not, right now they've got the upper edge.
They do. I do have a few videos that highly suggest we did shoot at one dragon, because on the video you could see it tumble in the air like it was going down, but it was able to recover. It was able to self-repair and fly away, which is phenomenal. And then actually a couple of weeks ago, a new helicopter came in. He was circling. You could tell he was looking. A dragon flew by, and at the same time it flew by, they must have new computers, because an energy weapon went on, a brilliant flash of light, brilliant, like looking at the sun. Mm-hmm. And you could see it was trying to target the dragon.
Yeah, you saw it, that was one that I had saved, yep.
Yeah. And I think it missed, but it came really close to hitting that dragon. So we are getting better and better. Our technology is rapidly improving. Who knows? Maybe they want us to have better technology. We really don't know the psychology involved here, but we are making efforts to shoot one down. We are doing everything we can.
Yeah, there was one thing you had mentioned the other night when we were talking, that if we shoot at them, what's happening?
Well, for some time, I just had this confirmed. the Italian government has been investigating UFOs for 100 years. And they were just recently on TV, and they said every time we shoot at a UFO, they turn around the missiles and they blow up our airplanes. And I was talking to a retired major in the Air Force. He told me the exact same thing. He said, look, we had a policy from 1952 to 1972 to shoot down a UFO at any cost. So we tried to do that. And on the average, this is going to be stunning. On the average in the world, we lost one airplane every day for 20 years. I mean, I would have gave up after a month, personally.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer money, right?
A lot of everything. But so you can kind of assume they have this policy, return to sender. You shoot at us, we're going to return that puppy to you.
Talk about karma.
Karma, instant
right.
karma. So
whatever you do comes back to you threefold.
There you go. So we got instant karma, we got John Lennon, and we have Elvis return the center.
There you go.
So don't do it. Don't shoot at them. Unless you got a really good reason, don't shoot at them.
I mean, if they were going to do anything, they would be doing it. I mean, let's face it, there's nothing to be afraid of, because if they were going to have an invasion or anything like that, it would have already happened. You know, we would look like a third world country, worse, you know.
Worse.
But it's not, it's not. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I personally think, you know, just like good and evil, there's good and evil with them. Of course, we know the Greys and the reptilians and everything else. So, you know, there's good and there's bad, and just like in the world, there's good people and there's bad people, you know. So I think if they were going to do something, they would have done it. So I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. In some ways, I think they're here to help advance us. I think they're here to help us, but we're not listening.
Well, you know, they are advancing us because we're making new computers and new energy weapons that can almost catch them.
Right.
So the benefit is our military will be stronger.
But I also, in regard to humanity,
Right.
you know, we're not listening, Robert. We're not listening. And,
No.
you know, and this is the sad part, you know, this is where ego is taking over. And one of these days they're going to give up. They're just going to say, you know, the hell with you, self-implode, you know, and then we'll deal with the cleanup, because
right.
you know, I mean, I've seen them. I told you, I've seen them. I've seen
right.
UFOs. I've seen, every time I see UFOs out here, you know, they're shadow people, and their arms and everything are that of like an alien, you know what I mean? And so there's no fear. They're looking at me, I'm looking at them. And I've had somebody with me before when they've appeared. And the only time that it did bother me was when they were pressing, like it felt like something like really strong, like pressing on my third eye. Like just press, you know, the pressure was so, it was awful. It just kept getting worse and worse. And I said, okay, I'm done. I'm going inside. I know you're not meaning to hurt, but it hurts. And, you know, this is it for tonight. I'm sorry. And I came inside and pain instantly was gone.
There you go. Exactly.
But there's a portal up here, and I can see it in the sky every night in the same spot. It's there during the day. You know, there's a portal.
Oh, they're around the planet, these portals. They're around.
Yeah.
We just need to become aware and have an open mind, have a curiosity, and say, hey, I want to look into this. Check out my channel. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Say, maybe this guy knows something. I'm a serious scientist. That's how I look at everything. I did really well as a pharmacist. I mean, I did some breakthroughs that people are still alive because of the medications I thought of. They're doing very well. I mean, it's I don't want to get into bragging about how
No, I gotta. For some reason here,
yeah,
you almost sound muted to me.
a little. Wow. I don't know. That's weird. I'll turn up my volume. I don't think it'll help, but I'll turn up my
And
volume.
you were fine, and then suddenly it just like I
Yeah,
talked about the third eye pressure, right? I talked about that, and all of a sudden,
yeah. No, you're also a little muffled a little bit, but maybe it's just a glitch. Maybe it'll go
yeah,
away.
I'm sure it's a glitch.
Yeah.
Can anybody in the chat room? Does anybody have any problems hearing us? Yeah, something's going on because see, no, there was a my battery has gone down to 50%
Wow.
in just half an hour.
Oh, that's not good.
So we're being tampered with, Robert. It's all
Yeah.
right. Bring it on.
Bring it on. I mean, sad. It's again. I don't know where they're going with this. Just yesterday, when the Apache was here flying in circles, I actually felt a little sorry because I like, where are you going with this? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? I don't get it.
Right.
You show up, you get tagged, you fly away. Are you trying to give me more video? I don't get it. But and they're trying to tamper with the computers, and they're texting and they're listening. I don't know where it's all going. It's again, to state the obvious. These are not my drones. They're not your drones. Uh-oh, I think I just lost you.
Nope, we're here.
Yeah.
See, yeah, they're letting us know.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're not doing anything illegal. We're not doing anything.
No.
And if we can't go a full hour tonight, that's okay. Next week we'll kick it.
Okay.
And do it more, but we're gonna keep going. I mean, you still sound a little muted to me.
Yeah. Oh, the TV went back on. Yep. Oh, the TV went. Yep. Look at this.
What's it saying?
It's what I just said. The TV went back on. It was typing it. I'm gonna start recording the TV every time
they're playing with us, Robert.
Yeah. They
now which one is it? Which one's playing with us? Is it our government or is it
wow
the UAPs, right?
You know what? Haven't looked at it that way, but you're right. Renee, I don't know. That's a good point. Because these dragons easily could do that.
Yeah, and I don't think that they would mind, really.
No.
I don't think that they would mind the discussion, the other might mind the discussion, but I don't think that, the UAPs or, whatever's behind that would mind. Now, I know when we fly a drone, right, we can't go above 100 feet unless you get a special certification, right?
Right.
To be able to do that. So, but our drones don't go that fast.
No, not a chance. The fastest drone we have is, I believe it's a gasoline, and it's 500 miles an hour. It's very loud.
Wow.
And it's for a short period of time. And the human eye can see that. This human eye cannot see these dragons.
Right.
Even with binoculars, you cannot see it. I've tried so many times to see it with the human eye. The best thing to do when you see a helicopter, take your phone. Here's my antique flip phone. Take your phone, turn it sideways, record it for 30 seconds, zoom in halfway, not too close, but not too far away. For 30 seconds, you will catch, very likely you will record a UAP dragon. I can't make it more easier. You're saying, no, Robert, that's too easy. A lot of people are saying, NASA spends hundreds of billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And you think you can just come along with a cell phone and take pictures of real UAPs? Yes, I didn't invent the cell phone. It took 100 years and 10 million engineers, so somebody else invented it. But now we have the benefits. And the benefits is it's a great camera. You
Right.
can record UAPs with it. And that's what people are doing now. I'm getting videos all the time. I'm retired for 10 years. I've never been more busier. It's wearing me down, Renee. It really, but I'm doing this. I care about humanity. I care about people's living conditions, our health, and I want people to be healthy. And I do believe this technology with electricity, you can make better x-rays machine. You can make better MRIs, CAT scans. So that's where this is all going. We won't have the benefit tomorrow, but you know what? If we analyze these dragons and figure out 1% of their technology, 1% is equivalent of going 100 years into the future. We could now, if we have that 1%, we could make an electric car that goes 1,500 miles.
Mm-hmm.
That means you could drive to LA to New York with only one fill up. So that's why I want to go forward with this, and I want people to know about it. Look at my website. If you want to criticize me, that's fine. I don't mind. That's sticks and stones. They really don't hurt they don't bother me. Test me, ask me questions. This is actually really happening. It's been going on 6 years. So Plane Finder, go to planefinder.net. Everyone gets tagged. There's no, even birds. Birds get tagged. I have a lot of videos with birds getting tagged. VIPs. So when they come to LA, they get tagged no matter who you are. If you fly over Marina Del Rey, you're going to get tagged. So the word's getting out. Now there are movie choppers here flying around. They coming in with pairs and they're recording one another. They're saying, hey, when you get tagged, I'll record it and vice versa.
They want the footage.
Yes, they want the footage. You will probably see it on TV in 2 years.
Wow.
It's coming. It's coming. It is what it is. There's no reversing it. So, you know, they could delete our podcast. They could play with our TV. But it is what it is. It's they're here and they're all, again, they're everywhere. Everywhere. You pick a city, the easiest way, Blue Angels or Thunderbirds. Pick a city, Dallas, Chicago, New York, Miami. In other words, Blue Angels over Miami. Watch the video, you will see the dragons fly by. It really is. It's that simple. I wouldn't be wasting your time. I wouldn't fill your prescription and say this is not going to work. I would tell you it's going to work. This is how it's going to work. So as a scientist, responsible scientist, I wouldn't be wasting your time. Extremely predictable. And there's going to be another hearing next month in June in Congress. And who knows, they might release more of my information. So
I think that's kind of cool.
That's really, like I said, I know this major in the Air Force, and he a week ago, he sent me an email. He said, you know, Robert, they're showing your videos at the Congress hearing. I said, well, I didn't believe him. I said, no. He goes, I called him. He sent me an email, then I called him. He goes, yes, they are showing your videos in Congress. And I said, you know what? 1 and 1 is 2. Because they're telling Congress how fast they're going and that they run on the X band on your radar spectrum. So, all right, that motivated me. That gave me some energy. I said, okay, I'll keep recording more of these things.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah. So it's unlimited. There have been, I told you the USS Gabriella was here 2 years ago, but 4 years ago, there were 2 major research vessels here, and they were here for 9 months. They were parked, and every day I would record them. They were just parked right here at the beach, recording data, radar, all kinds of sensors. And at the end of 9 months, they took a submarine and they dropped it in the water. It went underwater, and they did it right in front of the jetty rocks, the hot zone. So they know.
Yeah.
They know these dragons are coming in and out of the water at the hot zone. 100%. And if there's any serious researchers out there, send me a message, custodian file. I'll give you the dates, the name of the vessels. I'll send you links. I don't care. I'll share my video with anyone.
I think it's neat. I mean, these are so small compared to the one that I saw. Remember, I was telling you about 10 years ago in September, just down the road, because triangle, right? They say the triangle. So there's the airport. It's an international airport.
Yep.
Army Reserve. So here's the airport. Here's the Army Reserve. And then point them and go a couple more miles down the road, and there's Cayuga Lake, right?
Yep.
And then on the other side of Cayuga Lake is in Romulus is another base.
Yep.
And that's shut down, sort of, I guess. But that's on Seneca Lake. So we're talking the Finger Lakes. But that triangle, Army Reserve, International Airport, and then the lake, which is like close to 600 feet deep, I think, at its deepest point. I don't think they've ever gone down completely. But one night I can remember I was driving down the road, just not even 2 miles down the road from me. I had to go to the store. And I had my youngest and my oldest daughter, one of her friends, I was watching her. And this huge, huge UFO. I mean, so I'm driving down 13. It's nighttime traffic, like 6 o'clock at night. Both lanes are heavy with traffic. Both lanes are pulling over to the side of the road. Everybody saw this thing over the airport.
Wow.
It was huge. You couldn't miss it. And when I tell you, you can't even count football fields how big this aircraft was. This was not even a holograph, okay?
Right.
But it was huge. Both lanes of traffic saw it. Everybody pulls over to get pictures, and it was gone just like that. Vaporized, gone, invisible. Phenomenal. And it was like, I mean,
yeah.
Football fields doesn't even describe how big this thing was. It was huge.
Wow.
And we saw it from like maybe 4 miles away from, if it was over the airport.
That should be.
It would have taken up, and we have Cornell University.
Right. See, that should be international news. That should be everywhere. And they shut it off. The story never gets out.
It didn't. And I know I couldn't have been the only one who called the airport, because you know me. All right, yeah, I just saw this, and they laughed. You didn't see anything. Yeah, no, I did. And they probably laughed at everybody that called in, like you said, because I know I wouldn't be the only one that called in.
Yeah, no, a lot of people called. A lot of people. That happened actually in 1992 right here in Malibu. 100 UFOs flew out of the water, and people called the sheriff department. That one barely made it to the. If you Google it, you can barely find the story, but that did make it to the internet. But generally, they don't want anybody knowing. Fortunately, the Phoenix Lights, 1997. That was there for so long and so many millions of people. So that made it to the news. But it happens, and a lot of it's never reported. It's like gone from history. Yeah, it's gone from history.
I'm going to try to, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It is still. See, it's all the way up.
Yeah. So far, you're coming in good. I mean, it's a good picture and good sound.
Okay. So hopefully it'll come over that way good on the video.
Are there any questions? Any of your viewers have questions? I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing anything. I think everybody's afraid to.
Okay, well, let me volunteer some more information. Jesus, there's so much.
Don't
So-
volunteer all of it because we need some for next week too.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? You'll have pictures. You'll have all my pictures. So what I do, I take the video and I slow it down to 12%. And then it takes a lot of time, but then I copy and paste each image and I put it on a photograph so you can see where it started and where it ended. And I call those photographs interpolations. And I have 400 of them now. So next week you'll post those and people can see. This is amazing. And the majority of them are straight, but about 3%, 2% of them are zigzagged. I even have one that made a U-turn and went straight up and straight down.
Interesting.
Like, whoa, right in front of a police helicopter. Yeah.
Nice. Colleen's in the chat room. She just joined us. Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like I said, I see so many of them out here, and if they were going to hurt us, they would have done it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they are they're curious.
To be honest with you, not to frighten anybody, but if they were going to hurt us, the first thing what would happen is all the electricity would go out in the whole country, just like that. And if that ever happens, lock yourself in the house. But until that happens, don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, we would know. And I will tell you, when I see these things start behaving in a threatening manner, I will tell people, I will tell you and my viewers. I may even go so far to change the names from dragons to raptors. If I see them doing harm, I'm just going to say, look, we've got a raptor situation going on here. But I don't ever foresee that ever happening.
They almost look like they have wings. Like airplane wings, and almost like there's like a little fin, like a shark fin.
Thank
in
you.
the back.
Yeah, that's why
maybe in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm recording with a 4K a Panasonic X1000, and it's a great picture. But keep in mind, we're dealing with something very fast. And if Panasonic's listening, I could really use one of your better cameras. Like, I'm sure you have a top secret 8K camcorder. Please loan me that camera. But basically,
well, it'd be good if they have something new. You know, that's an idea for you, actually, Robert. Is if you call them or write them and tell them what you're doing for research and that you'll do a review on it, wow, they'll give you one. Why wouldn't they?
No, you're right. Let me write that down. Actually, that's so simple, and I didn't think of it. Let me write that down.
You know, I mean, because you're doing research, and you know what you're capturing, and you're willing to give reviews on their equipment and mention their equipment. Can you work something out?
I love it. Thank you, Renee. It's simple and it makes sense. I love it. Well, like I said, I thought they were dragonflies because they had wings, but later I determined they're not dragonflies because dragonflies have 4 wings. These things have 2.
Right.
And at very best, the silhouettes, these dragons, they look like a poor imitation of a bug. So it's easy to say that's a bug, but it's really a bad copy of a bug, a bad copy. But when you're going at that speed, no human being is ever going to say that was a phony bug. They're going to just say that was a bug or a bird. But basically the 2 wings, they have to be, those are plasma jets. They're running on electricity. They use it for propulsion and steering. Mm-hmm. That's how they can literally come off the ground, go straight up and straight down. They're using these plasma jet wings, high voltage. And so you will see on all the videos these plasma jets, these wings. And a lot of you are going to go, Robert, that's a bug. But even in slow motion, they're still too very fast to see. It's and oh, by the way, these things only fly when helicopters show up. So you can leave your camera on all day. Maybe you'll accidentally record a dragon, maybe. But if you want a for sure thing, wait for a helicopter and record the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I went to Boston 4 years, went to an event. I took out my camera as an experiment. I was recording the jets landing at Logan Airport. I took 30 videos. 6 videos had dragons on them. They're all over the world. They're all over. Anyone could do this. So look for a bug. Look for something with wings. You will be surprised, at least in Los Angeles, it is very hard to record a real bug. Very hard. Almost impossible. In 6 years, I have 1 video of a dragonfly. That's how hard. It's not easy at all.
Can you see the comments in the chat room?
No, I cannot.
Okay, so next to your right, on the right of your screen.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
You see it? There you go.
Yeah, super. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Hi, Colleen. Let's see. What kind of equipment am I using? I'm using the X1000 Panasonic X1 4K 60 frames. You need 60 frames is better. Faster. Now, Galaxy, they do make these phones now that shoot 1,000 frames. And one person did record a dragon at 1,000 frames. He put it on YouTube, and it's spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. I'll send you the photo. You can share it. But yeah, if you have a Galaxy phone, you're already in. You're already in. So yeah, just bring your questions. Bring anything. I can answer all your questions regarding dragons.
You know, I'm glad, and I do want to say this because I have to give credit to Ron for this. Ron Anderson is the one who informed me about you and the custodian file. So I do want to do a shout out to Ron.
Yeah,
also, I don't want him to think that I don't appreciate him, but I do.
Yes, that's very true. He's out on the phone. He's on the phone all the time. But you know, you get a lot of resistance. They're like, no, these are bugs. Don't waste my time. But the message is getting out. A lot of people are quickly agreeing that this is the real deal. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that the Army is here. The Army is in Marina del Rey circling boats. 3 months ago, January, actually 4 months, but the Navy flew in with a Seahawk 100 feet over the ocean, flew up to the boats. I was in front of my camera. I recorded the Seahawk. I zoomed in. You could see, they had their doors open, which was odd. The pilot and the guy in the back seat had his door open. The guy in the back seat had his hand on a Gatling gun, flying over Marina del Rey, looking for a target. I mean, I don't know. You're flying over 5,000 boats and you have your hand on a trigger of a Gatling gun. A Gatling gun's 100 rounds a second.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were planning on going with that, but you could see, I have that video on my channel. I posted it. It's a lucky video. Mm-hmm. But so in the Navy, that's rare. For a Navy doesn't, the Navy's job is the ocean. They use those Seahawks to look for submarines. It's not their job to come to Marina del Rey and look for UAP dragons, but they've been asked to, so they do. And yeah, I got a lucky video. And so you tell me, why would any military chopper fly in to begin with, but let alone have their hands on a Gatling gun?
Right.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. It's concerning. It's concerning. Please do not shoot at these dragons. It's just, I don't see anything good coming from that.
No,
Nothing.
that wouldn't be a good idea.
No. Remember the Elvis song, "Return to Sender." God knows what may happen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is very consistent. It's all the time. I mean, I'm surprised right now I haven't had something fly by, but they're trying to keep a low profile. What they do is, if you look on Plane Finder, they will turn off their radio transponder. When they fly into Marina Del Rey, they turn it off. They don't want to be seen. It makes my job harder because I get less video.
Right.
If I could see them coming, I get more video. So, but still, they're here every day. The police. Oh, there goes my TV. Babe, what's it say real quick before it shuts off?
It's still, they're here every day.
They're here every day. She just read it. My wife just read it. That's 3 times in 1 hour. Renee, honest to God, I don't even know how to do that if I wanted to with the TV.
I don't know. This is what I'm saying about what I said earlier at the beginning of the show. With technology, our phones, our TVs, we're being watched. And we're not doing anything. We're not harming anybody. We're not doing anything illegal. We're being watched.
We are.
I'm watched because I'm a psychic medium and I do this show and I have guests on like you. And, it's what's the big secret? Who gives a crap? I'm sorry, but, what's the big secret? Why does everything have to be such a big secret?
No.
I mean, God, you would have less resistance from the people who are just curious if you just be honest about it.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly. I'm telling you, if they're honest with the American people, I think 3 or 4 months would go by and they would go, so what? Okay. You want to go to Starbucks to get something, dinner or something, or let's go to a movie. I really think this dragon thing will go away. I mean, they're not going to leave, but this top secret, there's no need for it anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe they think, oh, we're going to go running down the streets and screaming and we're going to crash into
Lord forbid they'd want that. Are you kidding me? Don't tell me that there's no holographic stuff planned for the future as part of the fear thing, because everything is fear right now. Fear induced, and it's stupid.
Fear. Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
yeah, no, you're right. The hologram and unfortunately, you can almost be sure that you will hear a news story. Eventually, the Pentagon's going to say, okay, these dragons are real. And then 6 months will go by. And they're going to go, we got bad news. These dragons shut down an airplane. Now we got to go to war. That's
with what? Go to war. With what? That's the whole thing. I mean,
I don't know, but you can be sure a narrative like that will artificially come along.
Yeah. Well,
and if you
hear Orson Welles, The War of the Worlds, right? I mean, come on.
It did. It scared people badly. It scared them badly, but
I guess I look at it and I know, I mean, it takes all kinds of people to make this world go around and stuff, but I've always been one, and I used to be dramatic. I used to, be, into the drama and stuff. And anymore, it's just like, you know what? It's just common sense. If you can just sit down and not panic and you think about it, it all falls into place.
Right.
That there's no fear. There's no need for fear. There's no need, because just like a narcissist, right? They're going to keep going and keep going and keep going. Well, that's what we're being faced with now. It's something one right after another, and it's beating people down. But if people just stopped and took a deep breath and grounded and balanced and looked at the whole picture, they would see what it really is. You know what I mean?
Right. There you go. Yeah, it's fear-based. Again, I will be the first one to say we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I very likely, I mean, if something bad was to happen, it will happen in Marina Del Rey first. And then I'll put the word out. But no, there's nothing to fear here. They're here. Record them. I tell people, take the Dragon Challenge. Try to record one. Start building your library. Build your library. You'll be the first. You'll be the first in your neighborhood to have a Dragon library. Take the challenge. They're easy. It's incredibly easy to do. So I'm putting it out there. I'm encouraging. Go to my channel. I'll answer all your questions. It is what it is. You know, whether I record them or not, they're still here. I think they've been here for a long time. We just only recently have new cameras. It's as simple as that. We just put in space a brand new camera, the James Webb. Already, scientists are saying we are seeing things we never saw before.
Right.
That's what happens when you have better cameras. That's what's happening now. That's why I want to get Panasonic to give me an 8K camera. I'll get you better video and I'll post it. I'll put it out there. It is what it is. It's exciting. I'm very thrilled with it. Yeah, and I encourage people to watch my channel, to call you, to ask questions. This is going to help humanity. This is a very positive thing here.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like if they were going to cause harm, we would have already known it. I mean, I think in a lot of ways it's here as a protection.
Did you just
It's
hear
here
something?
as like a protection, and
Yeah.
you know, and to get humanity to listen, you know.
I definitely think they're trying to protect us too. That was I just recently heard to tell you, through my major friend, he told me an incredible story about the summer of 1986, where we came really, really close to nuclear war. And it's nowhere in Google, but the situation was defused by our space brothers. They turned it off. They turned it off, and they told both governments what was going on, and you had to turn this off. And I mean, there's a lot to the story. I'm trying to just play it down because I don't know. It might be considered top secret. I don't know. Renee, it's funny. Being a pharmacist, for some reason, people want to tell me things. They just want to tell me stuff. It's the funniest thing. And they can have a high security clearance, and they'll say, hey, let me tell you what we're making. Let me tell you what we're doing. I get that a lot.
I'm sure.
So, yeah, I've got some crazy top secret stories, and I just like, okay, thanks for telling me. I got to go. It's the funniest thing. But you know, like during a conversation,
it would be my guess that having to hold on to something like that, and to be able to tell somebody that they trust, you know, knowing that it's not going to go, but it's like to just get it off their mind, because the pressure. Could you imagine the pressure?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, and a pharmacist in a lot of ways is like a doctor, you know, with the HIPAA law, and you know, and people trust their pharmacist, right? I mean, in some ways, the pharmacist is more on top of it than the physician. In many, right? In many cases, I mean, my uncle was a pharmacist and owned his own pharmacy. You know, I mean, it just
when it comes to medication, we know it better.
Yeah.
Now, if you get your arm cut off, go see a doctor.
Right.
Okay, it's really that simple. I got to tell you, in the 80s and 90s, I was the pharmacist to the stars in Hollywood.
Nice.
And so with HIPAA, believe me, I want to tell you who was walking in, as it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy, but it was really exciting. It's as big as it gets, I had the biggest producer in the world come in my pharmacy. And we ended up talking by accident for 30 minutes. And I kind of recognized him, but I didn't recognize him. And then when he left, we shook hands. I go, oh my God, I can't believe who was just here. It's as big as it gets. Yeah. So
yeah.
It's
I have a couple of clients that are prominent, you know, that I keep quiet. I mean, you have to, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody deserves that privacy, and you know, there's a reason my friends list is private.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and then if next week we do another show, like maybe I could tell you a little bit about a friend I met at the pharmacy. He's a gifted psychic, a ridiculous gifted psychic. I can't underline the word ridiculous enough, to the point where like nobody should have this kind of gift. And he
Nice.
had it. He was telepathic. He was a time traveler. He was world famous. He would pretend to say it was magic. He would never say, I'm a magician. People would just assume it's magic. Very famous. I'll tell you all about him.
Yeah, I look forward to discussing that next week.
Yeah, yeah. And he even, I got to tell you, 1995, he even told me, say, hey, Robert, if you're interested in UFOs, you want to go to Palmdale, California, and I'll have them fly by for you. And oh my God, I gave him the stupidest answer. I said, no, I got to go to work. Renee, God only knows if I would have said yes, what would have shown up. And Palmdale, California is Edwards Air Force Base. God only knows what would have shown up, because they would have. It would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably been screaming, but it would have happened.
Nice.
But we'll talk about that next week. But
yeah,
my point is, I think he has something to do with all these dragons. I'll tell you his name, Glenn Falkenstein, Falkenstein. He's on YouTube. Check him out. He's blindfolded, and he can tell you, he can time travel. He can tell you anything about anybody. He was a code breaker in the in Iceland, 1952.
Nice.
So again, we'll talk about it. It's
save that for next week.
Yeah, for sure. But in the meantime, these dragons are here. This is all going on. It's an everyday occurrence. It's not stopping. It's not stopping. There's been way over 15,000 visits, sorties from the government since 2017. Way over 15,000. And it's still happening. And what can I tell you? I know they want to get their hands on one. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Even if you catch one, I don't know if you'll be able to actually keep it. Maybe it might just get tired and take off. It's hard to say.
Yeah, and it's unmanned, right? I mean, it would be, why would you want to shoot it down and destroy it when you would want to know the technology and everything else, right? I mean, so none of it makes sense. It's not, like I said, it's not causing any harm. This is an ego thing.
Yeah, when I went to Boston 4 years ago, I did have a sit down with the government, and that was their first question. Do you think it's man? Do you think there's a life form inside? That was their very first question. I was puzzled. I said, I don't think so. It's a drone. Why would they? But ever since then, now I really don't know. I cannot interpret their reality or their space or their dimension. We don't know. 10 inches to us could be 100 feet to them.
Right.
I just honestly don't know. All I am 100% sure, these things are flying Marina Del Rey. They're all over the world. If you're a scientist, you want to look into it, please do. And I have several big time scientists now standing behind me. They're like, Robert, this is really going on. Mm-hmm. And then fortunately, the Pentagon now is endorsing my data. Go ahead. I mean, I have a lot more data. I mean, but feel free. So I really, that's a big relief, because people say, how do you know how fast they're going? You don't know how fast they're going. You're not NASA. Well, now I don't have to be. I just show them the article of the Pentagon. This is how they're fast. You can believe me or the Pentagon. Who do you want to believe?
Right.
I have 4,000 videos. I don't think the Pentagon has 4,000 videos. They probably have a few hundred, but it is what it is. These dragons are here. It's exciting. Let's move forward. Let's try to capture the technology if we can just get 1%, the
Right.
benefits. We could make, you know what? We could make generators at Hoover Dam. We
Nice.
can make them 300% more efficient. That would be like having 3 Hoover Dams. So we can make them 300% more efficient, better electric cars, better MRIs, medical equipment. I say we do it. We go forward. I say, yeah, let's capture this. Let's jump on it. I mean,
Nice.
again, whether you and I are here, these dragons are staying. They're not leaving.
No, they're not going to leave.
And they're not leaving. That's not an option. That's not on the table.
And it's really interesting because you thought they were dragonflies and you call them a dragon, right? And I go by barefoot dragonfly.
Well, I didn't know.
I love dragonflies. Between that and I have Dragonfly Cove Entertainment.
I had no clue.
So I love dragonflies because dragonflies can go with the flow and accept change, and they can weather the storm.
Dragonfly Entertainment. I love that. So when you post my video, it'd be too perfect. Dragonfly Entertainment presents
Dragonfly Cove Entertainment.
Yeah, this is perfect. Congratulations. Yeah. And
Cool.
did I send you my interpolation of a real dragonfly?
What was that?
Did I send you the interpolation of a real dragonfly?
No.
No. I'll send that. I'll send that. Again, it's crystal clear. And you can eat it. Obviously, it's like that's a dragonfly. So this is really cool stuff. All in all, this is really cool stuff. Yeah. So I've got a lot. Just bring on the questions. I got a lot. I'll be happy to share. I'll share all the information. Because the way I look at it is, God's not giving me this video to just entertain me. It's like, put it out there, share it. Share it. Help people understand this. There's no fear here.
Well, that's it. And you're not putting it out there to cause fear or anything. You're putting it out there so people know, so they understand and realize that they're not doing anything. So there is nothing to fear.
No. Gallup poll years ago, their most trusted personnel are pharmacists. And it goes back between clergymen and pharmacists. Now it's nurses, but maybe God has a plan where, look, I'm giving you this information. To the best of my knowledge, this is 100% accurate. Just trust me, look into it. There's nothing to buy. Just take a few minutes of your time, go on YouTube, look around. That's all. Look at, again, air shows. Look at helicopters flying, military helicopters, Chinooks, Blackhawks, Apaches. You'll see these things fly around. It's that simple. This is, once you have the combination to a safe, you can open the biggest safe in the world if you have the combination. This is the combination. I'm giving you the combination. Here's the combination. Go open the safe here and let's all go forward together. Yeah.
Very
It's
cool.
darn exciting. Yeah.
I keep hearing things.
I don't know. Yeah. Don't be surprised if it's Glenn. Glenn has a way of saying hello, of showing up. Don't be surprised if the lights flash or you hear a loud pop.
Well, my attention was drawn to I have 2 lanterns, solar lanterns on my deck, and they're dragonflies. One stained glass and the other one is
oh, wow.
like a brass copper.
Okay. That's pretty. That's nice.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah. Look at that. What are the odds? The dragon meets dragon, finally. It's taken forever, but it's happening. It's really happening.
Yeah.
As it should.
Yep.
Because if we don't do it now, how long do you want to wait? Another 20, 30, 40, 50 years to tell the same story? Why?
Yep.
Let's just do it. Let's get it done.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So that's why I'm excited by it. It's so much going on. Security wise, nothing seems to be happening on my end. Nothing. If anything, it's the opposite. They used to fly over my roof and harass me. Now they've stopped. The police helicopters, now they've stopped. They're just, I think they're all the agencies are being told, stay away from that guy's camera. Just do not go next to it anymore. You can still fly in Marina Del Rey, but do not fly over his house. Just don't do it anymore, because I end up recording them and I end up getting new dragon video. That's how it plays out.
Right.
If you
And
fly
you're
out,
not doing anything. That's the whole thing. I mean, you're not doing anything. Why be targeted? It's not like you've got the drones, you're doing them. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like they got to stop. They've got to stop because you're trying to help,
I'm trying to help.
you know, and if it's just too old school. It's done. It's old school. It's stupid. It's, you know, knock it off, grow up.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, it's,
I'm just a retired guy standing on my balcony. I don't even record from the street. The government technically could say, well, you know, the street belongs to us and you're recording on our property. I'm not driving 8 hours to Area 51. I'm standing on my balcony.
Yeah.
They're coming to me. The Army, the Navy, the police, they're coming to me, and I'm getting new video. So this could be done anywhere in the world. I guarantee wherever you are in the world, you could do this. I'll be happy to teach you.
it'd be interesting with the airport here because, I mean, the landing field, the landing zone, you know, the taxi is right pointed this way for one, you know, one end.
It's
only like 3 miles down the road.
It would almost be too easy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would almost be too easy. I don't want to overwhelm too much information, but a few miles from me is Culver City, California, where Sony's Picture is. Sony's Picture used to be MGM Studio. For some reason, when jet airliners fly over Culver City, California, they get tagged by dragons. So airports are easy dragon locations. Or if you come to LA, just turn your camera on to Culver City, and you'll record. I can record 5 videos an hour of jet airliners.
Right.
It's scary easy. It's so easy. It's scary. Yeah. So it's very real. I strongly encourage everyone to take your camera out. It costs you nothing to push record on your camera. Give it a try.
Nice.
Yeah, give it a try. Yeah. Put it out there.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it for tonight because I'm below 20% on my camera on my phone right now. It's dropping fast.
Okay.
For whatever reason. And we will be back next week the same time.
Yes.
And I'm going to make sure that I have even more. I'll figure it out. Even if I do it inside and plugged in and everything else, I'll figure it out.
Beautiful. Wonderful. I look forward.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on. And there's more to share next week, everybody. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time.
That's right. Perfect. I look forward to it, Renee. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you very much, Colleen.
Thank you.
And everybody else who listened in and everything, you know, we're grateful. We're grateful. Yes. Even to the Pentagon.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm very grateful the Pentagon is supporting my research. Thank you very much. Yep. Yes.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Good night, Robert.
Good night. Bye-bye.